A change of pace now. Time for a Media Watch. James Creedon joins me in the studio. Hello to you, James.
Hello.
We're starting with the controversy over the potential scrapping of Les Guignols, a French satirical show.
That's right. It's creating a lot of reaction online in France. Rochelle, there's even a petition online to make sure that the show isn't scrapped. Now, what is Les Guignols, for those who don't know it? It's very similar to the British show Spitting Image, which was scrapped. Was there a political motive behind that? We don't know, and that's not the point of discussion this evening. But Les Guignols de l'Info, it's on the Canal Plus private network, and famously unkind to politicians such as Nicolas Sarkozy and others, who were, in particular Nicolas Sarkozy, who is featured as a sort of a bling-bling, extremely superficial individual. There you can see him in a kind of a white suit and a hat, etc. And as the Independent reports, their fans have launched an online petition so that the show isn't scrapped. Now, the intrigue behind all of this is this man, Vincent Bolloré. He is the chief shareholder of the holding company of Canal Plus Vivendi, and those who work on the Guignol show say that he is determined that the show will not return after its summer break, that it's going to be scrapped. Now, conspiracy theorists, or perhaps they're quite accurate, who knows, such as people at the Télérama publication are saying, well, Vincent Bolloré is famously very, very friendly with Nicolas Sarkozy, and could this be politically motivated? They say, in order to facilitate Nicolas Sarkozy's chances of winning in 2017, would it be better to replace the show? And in fact, even if Les Guignols has perhaps lost a little bit of its edge, some people are saying, well, if you look at the audience figures, they're still good. How can this really be justified unless there's some other... It's not an economic motivation, so there must be something else. In any case, hashtags such as touche pas au guignol, don't touch my guignol. Guignol means literally puppet. And you even have politicians reacting to it, such as Alain Juppé, who is, of course, a contender for the right-wing nomination for the Républicain Party, and you could say a political enemy, really, of Nicolas Sarkozy. And he says, I love seeing myself on Les Guignols. We need them. And what has he even gone so far as to do? He has changed his profile photo on Twitter to the puppet depiction of Alain Juppé.
Well, it's really nice to see
that might be politically motivated too, I think.
French politicians weighing in on the debate, because it is harmless fun. It seems a shame.
I think
it's such a popular show.
Absolutely.
All right, next to a debate in the British press over job cuts at the BBC.
That's right, and really at the centre of this debate is the whole issue of the licence fee and a public broadcaster generally. It's really become a debate about the role of the public broadcaster. 1,000 jobs are cut. The Conservative government in the UK is seen as being unfriendly to the BBC as it's currently structured, and quite a hefty licence fee. The Guardian today, in its editorial, is rallying round the BBC, and it says it is a precious public space through which every man, woman and child in this country can roam freely, crucially without anyone trying to sell you anything. So their point is that by reducing the licence fee and saying that the private sector can do some of the shows, the lighter shows that the BBC does, such as Strictly Come Dancing and stuff like that, well, actually that's just a gift in many ways to the competitors, and it's chipping away at the excellence of a public broadcast service, which is something that any sort of decent society should wish to have. That's what the Guardian says. And indeed, it's interesting to look at the debate about the public broadcaster in Greece at the moment, because as they face into a referendum, a lot of people have been saying that the Greek public broadcaster ERT, which was taken off the airwaves in 2010 to save money, and it's still not hasn't returned in its full form, you could say. And the private sector, really, each of the Greek media has their own spin on things, and there isn't enough impartial coverage for a referendum of this importance.
All right, and finally, he's been cleared of all charges, and now some are saying that Dominique Strauss-Kahn is a credible political candidate for those 2017 presidential elections.
That's right. There was a poll conducted recently by Via Voice for the Libération newspaper. Apparently, 37% of French people think that he would be the best candidate on the left, political left, for the presidency, and that means that after Manuel Valls, the Prime Minister, he is the second most preferred, if you like, left-wing politician, ahead of François Hollande, for example. So this could be partly related to his comeback after, as you said, he was cleared of all these charges. He's now back on Twitter. He famously issued or published a tweet saying, "Jack is back." That was just last week. And then a little bit later, he published, a couple of days later, he published his advice for the Greek crisis. So he's certainly trying to recast himself as a credible candidate. but some are rather unhelpfully providing potential slogans for his 2017 campaign, and I think most of them on Twitter, Rochelle, are not repeatable. So I'm not sure how he's going to be able to avoid that if he does make a political comeback.
I don't think he will be able to. All right, James, thanks for keeping us up to date with all of the Media Watch.